Being from Virginia, I mean, being here 4 years, you obviously know what the rivalry means to the school and to the community. How do you express that to the young players coming into the program?
Um, Pretty much just tell them to compare it to any rivalry that they had in high school, but times 10. Obviously, at the college level, tensions are a lot higher, fan bases are a lot bigger, and I feel like there's a lot more pride involved. So just expressing it to younger guys, that's how I would explain it.
How did you get introduced to the rivalry? Was there one moment to where you're like, whoa, that's a big deal, or did you just come in from day one understanding?
I kind of came in day one understanding. I know during one of my visits early on in the recruiting process, I had came here, and we had lost that night, and it just sucked the life out of the Valley. Players were upset, obviously, and from then I just kind of understood what it meant, the rivalry, because it's battle of the state, so it wasn't too hard to pick up.
Talking about that first year, being around it and seeing it for yourself, but to win 4 straight times after Clemson lost 5 straight, that make it extra sweet in your final go at this thing?
Absolutely, and we're playing with a lot of pride behind that. To be a senior class that hasn't necessarily lost to them is definitely something I take pride in, and the rest of the team that has been there during that time takes pride in. And hopefully, we execute a game plan and we can go out and go undefeated.
Dorian, you're a Buckus Award finalist now. How special is it for you to receive that honor?
That's amazing. It's really just really surreal and humbling. At first, I thought I was gonna make the semifinalists or whatever. I didn't hear too much about it, and I was like, oh, whatever. Like, it was nice that I made a semifinalist. But then I got word yesterday morning that I was a finalist, and obviously I looked up who else made it, what other linebackers made it. But to be compared and to see my hard work being, noticed at that high of a level and for an award that special, I'm very thankful for that.
From what you've seen in Jake Bentley, he's starting to run a lot more as the season progresses. How have you seen him grow throughout the season from the start?
I mean, just like any quarterback, you're going to get better and a lot more confident as the season goes on. I feel like he does a really good job keeping his eyes downfield while he does scramble. He's not really looking to run rather than make something happen while he's trying to avoid pressure from the pocket. So he just progressed as a player looking for plays on the run.
When you came in, you were amongst a team here at Clemson that not many guys had ever beaten South Carolina. Now that you guys have won 3 in a row, most of this team has never lost to South Carolina, but you've seen both sides of it. Can you compare what it was like then to what it's like now?
Honestly, to then to now, it's just kind of bragging rights. You can go out around South Carolina and they don't really have anything to say. But early in my time here, whenever there was that group of seniors that hadn't won against South Carolina, and I was redshirt at the time, I would still get stuff for it, from South Carolina fans, just because that's what kind of rivalry it is bragging rights for the year. You can go ahead and win the national championship and lose 1 game in South Carolina. South Carolina fans aren't talking about the national championship. They're talking about the time they beat you. So I'm just understanding that and letting players know that this is the biggest game of the season, and if you lose it, you'll find out why. And it shouldn't take us losing to find out why. This should be the biggest game of the season.
Do your friends and family from Maryland understand how big of a deal this is, or have you had to kind of tell them what it's like?
They pretty much understand it, just because, like I said, rivalry games anywhere are very special and people take them very seriously. And once I told them the severity of the rivalry and how important it is to a lot of people in state, they kind of understood it.
Dorian, if Trey can't go on Saturday, how confident are you in some of the backups to step up and fill the void?
Very confident, early on in the season, I sat here and got a lot of questions about how I felt about young guys getting in early in the game, and here we are, game 11 or game 12, whatever it is, and I'm thankful for that experience early on that those young guys had, because as you can see, the past 2 games we had backups come in and lead the defensive tackles, so there's no drop off, as Coach Winnie says, this next guy up, and defense rallies behind whoever's out there and just give them that confidence boost.
How about Scalzi in particular, coming in, getting the start last week and leading y'all in tackles? What do you see out of him?
I'm just so proud of Scalzi, just because, I knew he had it in him, and, me being an older guy in the linebacking core, I try to encourage those guys to, when your opportunity comes, just seize it, and just play ball. You know, we know you can do it, so just go out there and do it. And just being able to be out there with him on the field and see him take that leadership role, just out there communicating, having fun, hitting hard. It's just really good to see that progress from the guy and be able to step up in a moment like that.
Dorian, in the parallel universe of this rivalry, Scott Moore said Saturday night, talking to linebackers to the other position, that the reason that 2013 team was able to beat the 2013 Clemson team is because they had an edge about themselves. They wanted to dominate the other side of the position. Have you noticed a change in the way the Gamecocks have progressed with this rivalry? And what's your edge here when you guys get up for this game?
I'm not too worried about anything that they have as far as edge-wise. For us, it's just a season of its own. If we go out there, know it's the biggest game of the year and it's personal, just go out there and execute our game plan and just worry about Clemson. We're not really worried about what they got going on over there.
Last year you guys set the tone so early. How important in a rivalry game is it to be the one that gets the faster start, the better start?
Whoever draws blood first, it's always about, intensity and momentum going forward, especially early on in the game, and just letting the other team know that we're here to impose our will, whatever that may be, and just coming out and firing fast and firing hard.
Do you anticipate more trash talking than normal, considering how last year's game went, how it ended, and the war of words that ensued afterwards?
No, I'm just gonna play my game. If any trash talk happens during the game, then so be it. But I'm not focused on trash talking, just playing the game.
Smiles is a little different.
Cleveland was out here yesterday, and he mentioned the fact that he personally saw interaction between Clemson and South Carolina fans at a Waffle House one day that kind of showed him what the rivalry is like. Have you had any personal instances over the 4 years you've been here where you've seen that take place, where it kind of showed you how important this rivalry was for the locals?
Well, there's just South Carolina fans and Clemson fans are a lot different. I don't think there's any question about that. But I would just say just the difference in the atmospheres. Just early on in my career, whenever I did go to South Carolina and I obviously wasn't playing as much, just seeing how the fans treated our players and some of our staff, just rude, honestly. But it's a hostile environment. It adds to the rivalry, and we can't really control that. We just got to go out and just keep tunnel vision and not let any of the outside distractions interfere with our play.
Does that add to the desire to never let the foot off the gas pedal?
Absolutely. If you're beating a team, there's not much that they can say. So, that's all we can really do.
All good.